Hello guys, and welcome to the channel. If you're new here, welcome, and if you're returning, thank you for your continued support. I appreciate it. We are in the 10th house, the house of Capricorn. Okay, and it is the house of structure, discipline, life missions, accomplishments, and career. So it is also a cardinal energy, one of the leader of the earth, the leader energy, the boss energy of the earth energies. So we are going to go down to the singing bowl, and then I'm going to start with a reading for you guys. So let's go down to the singing bowl, and you'll have the option of skipping over this if you want, you guys. It'll be in the description. For Capricorn. Thank you, Spirit, for your guidance, protection, and unconditional love. I'm grateful for all known and unknown, seen and unseen. Divine energy guiding, allowing, and protecting us as we receive these messages with an open heart and mind. I pray these messages of healing and protection reach those who need them and those who will fully embrace and express their own divine energy for the highest and most loving good. As we walk on the path of love, healing, and redemption, may your healing light touch, taint, and transmute all darkness with understanding, acceptance, and faith in the holy light of love. Amen. Thank you, Spirit, Lord of Love. All right. Get a drink here, guys. All right. All right, one second. Okay, guys. So, using the Tarot Oracle deck for this reading, and pulling a White Light Oracle and a Animal Spirit Oracle from the Kim Cran's deck. The first card out is going to be where you're at, Capricorn, or if you don't have Capricorn and you're just watching this to see if this applies to your career or anything like that, you guys. This is a life path spread, so it's where you're at, it's where you desire to go or where you are going. The first step that you need to take, the strong part, the strong point, and then the soft spot or the weakness. What's Capricorn at right now? Spirit. And we got adversity. This always tells me that, and you can learn a lot from adversity. You can take a lot away from adversity. This is, can be some conflict with others, but it's more like being around different. It's the different. Something that, also with the vulture, it's also like, they're kind of like that hyena energy, which is like, they can handle a lot, and they're resourceful, and I would say that if there's a situation or anything going on right now where it feels like there's a lot of adversity, and this could be conflict of some sort within or without, we will read these cards, you guys. So let's go ahead and see where this is going or what you desire. Sometimes there's a need for adversity. Okay, we got the giraffe, growth. Okay, yeah, that's the biggest thing you can get from adversity is growth. It's amazing what you can learn about yourself and how much you can grow, how much you can learn about how you handle conflict or differences, different people, different energy. You guys, any kind of adversity can bring growth. Now it did come in reversed, so you may be having a hard time accepting maybe some things that are just different from your opinions or your ways. We will get more. Let's see what this first step is. Isolation, and it was reversed. This feels a lot like Sagittarius too. You could have Sagittarius in your chart strongly. The strength is change, and it was reversed, but it's in the strong position. You could be really not wanting to change something here. These have been, I will just let you know right now, these have been work. You know, this is the decks I've been led to are leading to work that we need to do on ourselves to better communicate or to integrate or to become more open-minded. There's been an energy about just doing the deep work within ourselves. Let's see what the weak spot is here. Could be having a hard time even like embracing change or wanting change. There could be some kind of, and it's cunning. Fennec Fox, and on the bottom, conformity. Okay. We're going to read these. This is interesting energy. I'm getting a lot of this. This could go both ways, you guys, but yeah, this could be, you could be like the center of something causing adversity. Like you could be being like maybe stuck in your ways is kind of what I'm getting. Maybe not adapting to a situation, because there's a feeling here of kind of being stuck in your ways and not wanting to change, and not seeing where changing or adapting. With conformity, it could be something here where it's like asking you to conform to some different structures or different rules or different something different here, maybe a different group of people or a different multitude of things, you guys. But it feels like we'll find out more if this is saying, you know, you need to go within and think and be by yourself before you maybe bring adversity to a group or a situation that you're dealing with, or you need to come out of your shell and not isolate and actually become more adaptable to grow. With cunning here, this is being adaptable. This is in the weak spot. So there is a feeling here of maybe not adapting to something well here, or not seeing how it can help you by changing something, or it's feeling like, yeah, conformity. Let me read this. The vulture here. And this deck, you guys, has 3 sections to each animal. And I'm reading all 3 of those sections because one may resonate for you and another may resonate for somebody else. And these are general messages. And this is a really good book with a lot of insight to these animals and a lot of messages. So I've been getting multiple messages in these readings. So if you can hang around and watch the whole reading, you may find that there's something in here for you. All right, the first section, this is the vulture, you guys, and it is adversity. And it says, to die for. Our adversities are the most transformational vessels of our lives. Buckle up and remain attentive during stressful times. Fight the urge to check out when the going gets tough. This has been the energy, you guys, coming through right now. It's just been in all the readings, just like facing your weaknesses, your fears, maybe your shadows, kind of really standing up when it's uncomfortable, you know, not running away, not hiding, not numbing, not crutching, but really sitting there and observing the uncomfort. And there's something in it for you. And this has been a theme throughout this round of readings. It says there's something for you to learn in the midst of it all. So if there's like conflict going on around you, or there's something here you're wanting to like step away from, or because it's just like too much, this does feel a little like Sagittarius, but it's saying be present, be present in the moment. Appreciate what's right in front of you, the adversity and what's going on, because there's something for you to gain or learn from the adversity, from the discomfort. And I know we all don't want to be uncomfortable, but through uncomfortable things, we grow and we transform. It's those uncomfortable parts of our lives, or those uncomfortable parts of facing ourselves, or those uncomfortable interactions that teach us what we do want, what we don't want, how we feel, how we react, how we judge, all that, you guys. It all comes from being really self-reflective about how we're engaging in conflict or stepping away from it. Are we stepping in to, stand our ground when things can even be uncomfortable? Are we backing away? Are we numbing? Are we becoming really accepting of the way everybody's showing it's, I've been getting this message myself, like I've been led down, I'm learning more about the rays and the divine rays and stuff like that, how every energy has a purpose, a soul purpose. It's really interesting stuff, you guys. And as I learn more myself, I can integrate that in. That's why Spirit always guides me in those directions, to learn more, read more, study more, because it comes in, and I can integrate it into what I already have gathered. So yeah, there's a lot here. It says, this is what I was feeling, because I believe it was the hyena was in Sagittarius, and they can stomach anything and they can chew on about anything. And it says the vulture doesn't just accept death, it seeks it. This animal diet consists mainly of carrion, some so decomposed that only the vulture could stomach it. You can stomach any adversity that comes your way. What may seem like a most unfortunate situation could turn out to be one of the greatest moments of growth you will experience. Like the vulture, seek meaning in hardship and misfortune. So if you're going through a hard time right now or facing some adversity, it's saying this could be very well something very, very beneficial to you. And that's what I'm getting from the rest of the cards that are down here. It is here to create growth and change for you. There is a feeling here of needing to embrace it, not hide from it. Really take it in, no matter how uncomfortable it is, or even just raw, and just that's what I'm feeling, raw. The next section is called Heat of the Moment, and it says, eating decomposed animals isn't the only strange and frankly unsettling behavior of the vulture. When it gets hot out, the vulture will pee on its own legs. While a serious party foul, it helps them cool off. Plus, the acidity in their urine kills any bacteria they may have gathered walking around amongst the dead. You also may require a humble moment, not pretty and poised, but messy. Let yourself fall apart if necessary. Lugging around a weight too heavy will make you stronger. But if you don't put it down every once in a while, you will grow bitter and resentful. Don't worry about keeping it all together. If you need to cry, cry. If you need to sit around in your pajamas all day and eat ice cream, who cares? Don't force yourself to put on a happy face for the sake of everyone else. It is saying to really embrace this moment and take it in, even if it makes you not feel great. You'll be able, it can also bring you, even though it might get messy, it's not like you can't, I'm feeling like cleanse too, like cleanse it away, like after the moment, like let the tears run through, or let the feelings sink in, and then just so it doesn't build up, so it doesn't, you could be having something that's building up, causing you adversity, specifically like within, too. So that's the second part of this. The third is clean freak. And I was feeling this too, like this cleansing. It says, while we may not envy the vulture's lifestyle, we would be smart to be thankful for their janitorial services. By acting as nature's maid, the vulture prevents the spread of disease. He cleans up rotting corpses and clears them away. Let adversity be purifying. There's something here that may be feeling yucky. It may be being really honest with yourself or someone else, or facing something that you don't want to face, looking at something that just is ugly. It's kind of feeling like that, but it's going to help you to purify and cleanse. It's going to help you to go through a transformation, a change. You could be resisting a transformation and a change here, and that is what I'm getting. It's like you got to dive into this mess, even if you're looking at this mess, whatever it is, and it could be physical, it could be mental, it could be emotional, it could be spiritual, whatever, and you got to face it and you got to deal with it. These messages have been like what I always feel like are like tough love kind of messages, you guys. So if it's coming out harsh, it's just coming through that way. So this has just been the energy. This is the energy. It says, while we may not envy the vulture's lifestyle, we could be smart to be thankful for their janitorial services. By acting as nature's maid, the vulture prevents the spread of disease. He cleans up. Oh, I think I read this. Yes, I did. Now is the time to turn your mind to what's truly important when it all falls apart. Whether you have been dealing with adversity or are facing it now, what and who has stuck around? So if you've already went through this, and you could be at different stages in this, you guys, it's what's still there after the muck is cleared. What's still there? Or if you aren't there yet, or you're just in the middle of this, being mindful about what it is that's really leaving. Is it, is it something you could just feel as a lesson, or something you can gain from it and then let it go? What matters less to you in tough times, and what do you crave as comfort and support? That's interesting, because this has been an energy through these readings too. Is like when we are feeling uncomfortable, or we are feeling unsupported, or we're feeling down, what do we turn to? And I think that's the big thing going through in this energy, is really getting people to see how they handle uncomfortable relationships, uncomfortable feelings, uncomfortable thoughts. What are you doing with them? Spirit's being really clear about that through these messages. Like, what are you doing with these feelings? Are you overindulging? Are you running away? Are you sleeping all day? Are you not being present and seeing what's in the in-betweens of the black and white? That was another message in another reading. There's a very strong feeling here. It says, what matters less to you? What matters less to you in tough times, and what do you crave as comfort and support? So during these tough times, what are you really wanting? Is it really the ice cream, or is it really the whatever it is, the crutch? I'm feeling that with this clean freak. It's about being clean too. Cleansing. This is feeling like a cleansing process. The ecosystems to this card are the opossum and the raccoon. Interesting. Sagittarius also had the raccoon from the other deck in their reading, so you may want to watch that if this one resonates. It's feeling kind of similar. It says, depending on where you are in the process of adversity, you may need to submit to the waves. This was also in that reading. Go with the flow. Maybe lighten up the load a little. This could be by communicating even something that doesn't, it's hard to digest. Could be something you need to express, or something that's being expressed to you that's hard to digest, hard to accept, or hard to understand the growth in it, or hard to understand how this can help you, or something like that. That's what I'm getting, but there is something, you guys. There's always something in those in-betweens, and we don't appreciate that enough. We want to go from this crap to this great thing ahead and miss everything that we're learning in between, because instant gratification, it's one of humans' favorite things. We love instant gratification. We want it yesterday. But there's a process happening here, and this feels like a cleansing process. It feels like actually like cleaning. You could actually be cleaning up your body, cleaning up your heart, cleaning up, purifying your space. So really dive into that muck, and it's like you can do it. It's saying, yes, you have the capabilities to get through this mess, but you need to dive into it, and you need to know that you're growing through this, and this is actually helping to transform a part of you. You may not just see it in the moment, but it is kind of saying there's also a feeling here of, I was getting that in the beginning, like if you're afraid of kind of being the cause of adversity, sometimes we got to kind of step in and say, yeah, that's not the strong feeling of this reading though, you guys. I'm getting, it's more like stepping out of like that cozy zone, but it's not really cozy, because it's just, because there's growth going on outside of the cozy zone. That's what I'm, it's like getting in your little cozy zone, which could be really mucked up with stuff, that there's things going on around you, or something even that you could face, or take in, that will help you get through your muck. Something like that. That's interesting. This is interesting energy that's been coming through here. But it says surrendering control and allowing for adversity to run its course could save you headaches and turmoil. Not trying to control the adversity, not trying to numb the adversity, not trying to stuff it down if it's coming from within, if it's something conflictive within you, but letting it come, letting it, let the information from that come to you, or let it come out of you, and let it kind of move through you. Don't hold on to it. That's that kind of like heavy burden energy. It says there's no sense in building a house of cards during an earthquake. When things calm, you can work on putting the pieces back together. If this feels like stormy or feels like, ugh, I don't want to deal with this, saying, you can't control it. Don't try to. Just let it go through. If you need to cry or you need to sit with it, chew on it, digest it, do that. This feels like something being cleansed or purified in your life. That's really important for your growth. This could be old habits. This could be old thoughts. This could be relationships. This could be old physical things, a home, something like that. It's just like there's something here that could really feel not great, but there's great coming out of it. It's just you'll put the pieces back together. If there's something kind of coming apart, like a job, or this could be small, this could be big, you guys. It's whatever. If this resonates, you're going to know what it is. The raccoon, moving through adversity may take some serious ingenuity. That's kind of what I'm feeling with this cunning, the fox, in the weak spot. So you may not be being adaptable or using all of your tools correctly to get through this. You could be shutting down. That's been the energy. A lot of people kind of shutting down right now. You might need to get crafty and clever in how you manage and cope with hard times. Don't stick to your usual routine. So whatever you do usually, this was also in the last reading I did, Sagittarius, which is the spiritual growth house. This is coming through really clearly as needing to jump in, dive in. There's been a message of like not being spiritually lazy right now. I'm not saying you're lazy. I'm not saying we are lazy, but we can be when it comes to those hard things to chew on, those hard things that we don't want to change about ourselves, those hard things we don't want to see. That's the hard stuff. That's the stuff that creates tremendous transformation and tremendous change. And it's really, really hard stuff, you guys. But it's been the message. And, some may take offense. Oh, I'm not lazy. I'm not saying you're lazy. Spirit's coming in and saying, if you are being spiritually lazy, you aren't doing the work, you aren't digging, you aren't facing the nitty gritty. This has been the message. And it's coming through again in this reading. This is not, this energy isn't lifting at all right now. It's stayed just as profound as it was when I started this round of readings. And sometimes it starts to dissipate, but it's just really staying there, in this moment. We are in a new moon phase, so it's time to really do this, and this is speaking to everybody, we all have something that we still are chewing on, or we don't want to, we're all constantly doing work, you guys. So please don't take offense to that. It's part of the work. And if you're here and you're doing the work, then that's not going to offend you or trigger you at all. But if you are somehow offended by me saying this has been the energy, is this spiritual laziness, which in this may not even be you, but I am doing these readings for the person it resonates with. So we are at a detrimental time when we need to do the work. We need to go deep in. We need to do the self-reflection. We need to see the in-betweens. We need to see many, many, many facets and perspectives so we can get a full spectrum of how we can understand the things around us better, how we can incorporate our energy and others' energy into a better, higher manifestation for our people, us as a collective. And that's just a message coming through, you guys. It says, don't stick to your usual routine. When you're having a difficult time, do things you normally don't. This was also in Sagittarius. Step outside the box. See between the black and white. It's not yes, it's not no. It's not in, it's not out. There's a whole bunch of stuff being taught in the middle here, waiting for you to sponge it up and grow from it and learn from it. Take it in. Self-reflect on it. Get out of the house, go on a road trip, or just visit a new coffee shop. A break in what's expected can provide some relief. Adversity is like a strong wind. It tears away from us all but the things that cannot be torn, so that afterward we see ourselves as we really are. That's this energy. It's just stripping away like all the things the illusions and the things we don't want to see and the things we don't want to face, and about ourselves, about others, about our situation, maybe about how much stuff we have, whatever. Like, it's coming in and it's just asking everybody to just do this work, this cleansing, this purifying, this releasing, this self-reflecting, most importantly, about how we handle discomfort. That is strong. This is a strong message. It's been a strong energy, you guys. So let's go ahead and go over here to growth. Now, this is in the what's coming. It did come out reverse, so there is, I feel like, some resistance here for this growth, or facing some things that just maybe not approaching the adversity with that flexibility or that using all your tools. You could be shutting down instead of using all of it, using everything you've learned to really get through this, whether it's meditate, listen to music, whatever tools you got, using your creative. I know in Sagittarius says it was a creative, it's being creative. It's thinking outside the box in order to get through obstacles too, whether that means doing healthy stuff for ourselves when we're feeling that discomfort, taking a shower, putting lotion on our feet, whatever, whatever comforts us and nurtures us during these times of purification, because purification's ugly, you guys. It is. If you're going through this purification process, and we have many of them. It's not just one, but I always describe it like dyeing your hair or something. Like, it's so messy and, it never feels like it's never going to end. It feels like it's never going to stop coming out. And then, lo and behold, finally, the water runs clear. And the water runs clear. The feelings are clear. The mind is clear. Things are clear. This is about getting clear. And then you got this whole new vibrant look and you feel better. It's just, you feel better when it's all done, but it's a kind of a grueling process, So that's what I'm getting from that. So let's go ahead and go to this giraffe, this growth. And this is where we want to go here, where we're headed. There could just be some resistance with it coming out reversed. The giraffe, it says, reach for the stars. Believe everything's possible. Believe you can do anything. That's what I'm feeling. Have that belief in this process. Have that belief in even tasks that seem hard will make you stronger and help you grow. The giraffe's long neck, this is the top one's reach for the stars. The giraffe's long neck shows us what is possible when we focus upon personal growth. Their long, intriguing necks are powerful symbols of the elevation of our minds. The expansion of the head away from the body represents idealistic vision and detaching from what's weighing you down. If there's something here weighing you down, it's interesting because it's saying detaching from what's weighing you down. Now is an opportune time to focus on your personal development, not escape into something, whether this is social media or, it's really going deep, deep, deep down in. And like the only way to detach from what's weighing you down is to look at it inside, expand your mind on it, think about it, even though you may not want to think about it because it's maybe messy and it's like, I don't want to think about that because it makes me feel a certain way. That's what you need to observe. That's what you need to sit with, is the way it's making you feel and why, and how do we fix that? How do we cleanse that? That's what I'm getting. So this animal guide tells you that your current path requires you to direct your attention inwards. Now, this is the first section. These other sections may resonate more than this section with you, but if this one does, it's saying, this is a time to go within and kind of get through the gritty, get through the muck, chew on the stuff that's hard to chew on, cleanse it. This guide comes to those who are natural givers and helpers that aspire to lift others up, often before reaching highs themselves. When you choose to focus on growing yourself into the best version of yourself you can be, you will be better equipped to support and guide others. Remember that you can't fill a glass with an empty pitcher. Taking care of yourself, taking that attention to yourself to do the work you need to do. And then the second one is growing pains. Growth is not linear. Like vines, we grow through, around, and beneath things. The giraffe's beautiful coat is one of a kind. Everyone unique. Your journey is yours alone. Don't allow yourself to get caught up thinking you are climbing a ladder where the goal is to skip over others in your way. The giraffe doesn't sit around comparing spots, and neither do we. Doesn't matter where you're at on this journey, you guys. It's saying, don't compare yourself to others. This is about doing your work. It's not a ladder to success. It's your leaps forward, your milestones, your growth. We all love these animals and their unique coats just the same. As you grow, think of it as a process, not a competition. You could be working very, you could feel like, oh, I'm not going to get this. Or you could be working slowly on something, really methodically on something. And it's saying it's okay. Don't compare yourself to how fast or how good or how ahead everybody else is of you or whatever. It's each person climbs a mountain at their own pace, and it's yours to climb, and it's your path to get there. But it's saying to continue doing this process. It is a process. It's not how fast you get there. It's about the quality of the in-between. It's really taking note of what's in between point A and point B that we want to hurry and leap to. That's another energy. As you grow, think of it as, I read that. Each day as you work harder to grow and evolve, try to hone in on your own practice a little bit more. There is no winning or losing when you are challenging yourself instead of others. The next section is slowly but surely, and I was getting that too. The Giraffe Guide also tells us that the growth process does not serve the desire for instant gratification. This is what I was getting from the get-go. We must be prepared to make a lifelong lesson. Establishing habits and mindsets that allow you to evolve will take concentrated practice, focusing in on the issue, the problem, the mess, and figuring out step by step, concentrated efforts on how to get through it, how to cleanse it, how to release it, how to heal from it, how to fill it without running from it. It's really feeling like taking everything in and doing the work and going through the process and realizing like when is it you step away, or when is it you may go into isolation instead of diving in deep to it, and it says they develop establishing habits. It won't come quickly. The giraffe isn't born with a long neck. They develop it throughout their life. You may be too focused on the ephemeral and on pursuits of instant pleasure. You may want something now. You may want something yesterday, when this is taking time, like I was describing about like the hair dye. It's a process and it takes time. So take your time, take in the full spectrum of what is happening here. There's a lot of growth happening. There's a lot of things changing, and this is collectively, you guys. But yes, definitely probably in your being, with this being the 10th house of like self-discipline, this is feeling like really disciplining yourself to take that time to do that work and go through the process step by step. And not get scattered, ground yourself in this work right now. If this is resonating with you, if you're doing this work and you're doing it hard, it's as much as we want to say, man, I've already been working on this for 7 years, 10 years, 20 years. It's like, man, when is it going to be done? It's like, not yet. We still got work to do. We always got work to do, but we get more peaceful for it. We get more loving. We get more understanding through it. And that's what Spirit wants. So that's what this is about, you guys. The more we understand, the more we can work together, the more we can collaborate, the more we can manifest great things together. So we have to go in and do the work when we don't understand things, or we don't want to because we are closed-minded, or we're or it's just messy, or it's easier, it's more simple to just have this answer and that's it, and there's nothing in between, because that means I have to look at 50 different things instead of just one. And it's saying to look at all those 50 different things, look at all the stuff, and really discern what between the stuff here that's trying to help and the stuff that you may be focusing in on or being fixated on, and that's what's causing like the feeling of wanting to turn your back to it or not do the work. It's very interesting, this message. You may be too focused on the ephemeral. Okay. And this is just this section, you guys, but it says if we spend too much time on leisure and entertainment, we can grow stagnant. I was feeling that, like escaping to, I think it said social media or just any kind of crutch, and TV can do that. Your phone can do that. Like there's so much that can distract us from doing our inner work, you guys. This really deep stuff. You can listen to it all day. But you have to actually sit down and do the work. It says, remember to not just watch, but learn and engage. And that's what I'm feeling, not to disengage with this process of cleansing, purifying, working on whatever you're working on. This may be a big, big task. This is a huge task. It's huge. It's huge. It feels huge. The ecosystem is the lion and the hyena. And I knew I was feeling that hyena in this vulture energy, but it's coming through is in the ecosystem in the giraffe. So the lion and the hyena, these predators find nourishment in the giraffe's growth. Predator and prey live in a habitat of deprivation and scarcity. You may need to grow, especially out of your lush and abundant comfort zone. I was feeling that. To find what you are looking for, you will need to travel through more demanding territory. It does feel like demanding energy. It feels like this needs done. This work, this time for yourself, this self-reflection, this cleansing, this purifying, finishing it up, working on it. Even if it's slow and steady, just don't stop working on it. This feels like encouragement, and really like strict. It's like kind of feels strict too. Like it's a need. Whatever this is you're working on needs to be done for you and for good stuff, you guys. It always is worth it. It doesn't feel like it sometimes when you're in the middle of the mess, but it's totally worth it to have that peace in yourself and a little lighter energy to you, okay? To find what you're looking for, you will need to travel through, oh, I did read that, the bravery to take risks and a willingness to jump at opportunities that come your way will be indispensable to your process, which means you cannot ignore these opportunities to challenge yourself, to face adversity, to face feelings of, I don't want to deal with this right now, or this is too much for me right now, or I don't have time for that right now, or there's just facing something that's different from what you're used to doing, out of your comfort zone. I am getting that really strongly. It says, don't settle for playing it safe and doing less than you are capable of. Push yourself to reach the highest branch. That's what I'm feeling with this reading the most, you guys. It says, did you ever grow anything in the garden of your mind? And Mr. Rogers said that. So the first step here is isolation. It did come in reversed. So we're going to, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be getting out of the comfort zone, getting out of the shell. That's what I'm getting. But there is 4 sections to it, and I will read all of those sections so you can also make your own conclusions to this. It's the garden snail, and that's interesting because it says, have you ever grown a garden in your mind? Mr. Rogers. Very interesting. We got the garden snail next. I feel like this is also about thinking big, dreaming big, but needing to do the work to make it happen. I'm also getting that as a message. The garden snail. Nice. I'm liking this. Soft and squishy. The garden snail slowly inches into your reading to tell you that you have been curled up in your shell, perhaps literally or emotionally. You have retreated into isolation. Snails have shells for a reason. What is underneath that shell is soft and squishy, vulnerable and defenseless. Spirit always protects you in these vulnerable times when we make ourselves vulnerable to purify, because we are quite fragile during the purification process, if that's what we're talking about here, or if this is just you're in the middle of doing a lot, facing a lot of just mucky stuff. You're protected. Just know that you're protected because you're doing the work, even if it's hard. And you're going to come out of it ahead. What piece of yourself are you protecting? And what have you crafted into a formidable and repelling exterior? Are you also creating some kind of conflict or adversity to distract yourself or others away from your vulnerabilities, or things that are the soft, squishy stuff that need to be brought to the surface, faced, dealt with, it's very interesting. If you never come out of your shell to find nourishment, you won't thrive for long. Keep in mind that nobody wants to have to crawl inside your tiny shell to figure out what's going on. You need to come out of your shell, kind of really might be expressing something, might be just getting into something, doing some more work on something that just feels, like this has been a message about, like, it's easy to be around people that tell us what we want to hear. It's easy to, that feeds our personality, which is already established. But what we're trying to establish here is something beyond personality. It's who you are. It's your soul, your spiritual essence. And that is what's trying to be in alignment with the personality. So we have to go through all this personality stuff. It's a lot harder to sit around and hear like constructive criticism, or any kind of criticism, even if it doesn't feel constructive. Maybe it's not constructive, but to chew on it, think about it if that's the case. And this could be vice versa too, you guys. So there's definitely something here about tension and adversity, and it being actually a good thing right now to deal with that, not run from it, not hide from it, not stay in your comfort zone, and observe how you handle it, how you what are your defense mechanisms, stuff like that. Keep in mind that nobody wants to have to crawl inside your tiny shell and figure out what's going on. The next one is static friction. It says the garden snail releases mucus as it moves to reduce friction. Their squishy insides would have a hard time being dragged across rough terrain without it. Sometimes when the going gets tough, our isolation acts like a snail's mucus trail, reducing friction and keeping us comfortable. Recognize the padding that you create to deal with life's stressors. That's what I was just saying. While it may help you move along smoothly, Padding rough terrain isn't always the best solution. How will you know when to move from the asphalt to the grass if you are passively sliding along from the inside of your shell? That's what I'm feeling like. There's easy path, fast, easy path, but it's not the path that if you're watching this or you're on this path, that's not what the soul's trying to do here. It's the stuff that's really transformative and creates a lot of growth, fast, intense, transformative energy. And it's right now, right here for us to utilize and grab the bull by the horns and go about this like the warriors we are, because we are, you guys, and it doesn't matter what we're facing or what we've been through, or it doesn't. We are strong. We're here till the going gets tough, right? Yeah, usually it's what is the going gets tough, the tough gets going, something like that. I might have to put that song in there because that just crossed my mind. I'm going to actually. It says, how will you know when you move from asphalt to grass if you are passively sliding along from inside your shell? Really getting in there, getting dirty, getting the work done, really taking it on, you know? Shell shock is the next section. And it says, while relatively small, the garden snail is strong for its size, able to lift up to 10 times their body weight. Recognizing your soft and squishy insides doesn't make you weak, just protective of what you hold dear. Those who keep their cards close to their chest are often the most emotional and sensitive of all. Crawling out of your shell and into the open field carelessly is a dangerous business. However, if you can master the art of knowing when and how to crawl out of your mental, physical, or emotional isolation, you may begin to venture out of your shell more often, finding the outside world a more welcoming place than you previously believed. You may be telling yourself there is no place for this vulnerability, or you don't want to. You could even be defensive about your emotions or your mental state. This could be even anything, you guys. This is a general message, so open up and you will be surprised at what has been waiting for you on the outside. There's so much growth happening on the outside of this shell, of this comfort zone, you guys, that we're all dealing with, especially in doing the work. You know, it's doing the work. It's making sure we don't get sidetracked or let our personalities kind of take us away from the deeper stuff going on, the bigger stuff here happening. The newt is one of the ecosystems of this card, and so is the earth. The newt says, losing something dear to us is often what causes us to retract back into ourselves. This predator of the garden snail tells us that losing something reminds us of the many risks we are all taking all the time. While retracting back into their shells is an instinct for the garden snail, you must know when it has been long enough and when it is time to re-emerge. If this is about a loss or a breakup or losing something, I was talking about that in the very beginning. We're coming back to that in this with the newt. It's saying it's you've had your time to sit with the vulnerabilities. Now it's time to kind of get tough and dive in there and come out of this state. Now, the earth says the garden snail is a herbivore and finds sustenance in the land it crawls across. This card asks you to acknowledge and create a practical foundation during this period, like that little plan or that step-by-step thing you can do. Closely connecting yourself with what's real and tangible will keep you from getting lost inside your shell. What can I do right now? And I know I need to do it. I'm going to do it and make a plan or a goal. If isolation tempers the strong, it is the stumbling block of the uncertain. I love that. If isolation tempers the strong, it is the stumbling block of the uncertain. When you're uncertain, it can really tie you up to isolate. Kind of keep you in a stagnant energy. Let's go down here to the strong point, which is this change. This is really good. There's a lot of changes going on right now. A lot of shifts, a lot of changes. Oh, a lot. And this is good. This is in the strong position. There's a strong change happening, needing to happen, maybe is happening, and it's just really time to kind of dig into what's the changes that are already are already taking place. Oh, there we go. Well, maybe not. There we go. Monarch, the monarch. Nice. Metamorphosis. The monarch indicates the presence of change. This gorgeous result of the caterpillar's transformation emphasizes the importance of being present for and appreciating change in your life. Humans have long adapted to being adverse to change. Adversity being at the center of this reading. Something just, you want the change, but you don't want the stuff that goes with the change. That's what it's feeling like. The work that it requires for this change could be feeling adverse to what is comfortable for you. But this is needed, and this is something to be mindful of if this is a reading that resonates for you. Doing what has proven to work served us best in times of survival. If the very concept of transformation makes you uncomfortable, it is your responsibility to move from a mindset of surviving to thriving. The monarch says to you that you will benefit from some fluctuation. That's that flexibility, adaptability, using all the tools. Push past fear and embrace change in your life. This butterfly's metamorphosis is a reminder to trust the universe and yourself while taking the next step. You are heading in the right direction. I love that. You may know this too. Far from home is the next section. Your process will be aided by the knowledge that there is no right way or a single destination. Everything is what you make it, and everything has potential to inspire. And that means even the muck, even the stuff that isn't easy. It can really grow us. It can really make us tough. It can really bring us into our power. The monarch is a migratory butterfly, and it can travel south, flying up to 100 miles a day. What is more is it can take multiple generations for the monarch to reach its destination. Wow. Change takes time. You are headed somewhere new, but don't rush. This is a message going slow, steady, one step at a time, one feeling at a time, one thought at a time, one thing at a time, and doing it, but not giving up on it, not hiding from it, knowing that it needs done and taking the necessary steps to make the change happen. Lean into change and transformation. Migration is vital to the monarch's survival. Your journey will serve you better than your destination or source. I love that. Plan ahead. But what do you need to get to where you're going? The monarch provides a valuable lesson in sowing seeds. Take the time to plant those seeds. Get your affairs in order. Do the work. Do the mind, heart, do the cleansing and stuff so you're ready to take it all on with a clear mind, clear heart, and just courage. And yeah, whatever this is feeling like a lot. It could resonate for a lot of people. Start change with baby steps. Don't allow yourself to sink too deeply into comfort. Once again, get uncomfortable, Capricorn, or whoever this is resonating with. Sometimes what feels like comfort in the present feels like stagnation in the near future. Or in periods of discomfort, consider that you are being pushed to change your approach. Don't keep using the same strategy and expect different results. The monarch comes into your reading when you are being called to create and harness positive change in your life. How can you use what is working in the present and take it one step further? Use what is working in the present and just up it. Whatever's working, up it, step by step. Ecosystem, the orb weaver and the praying mantis. The orb weaver, the spider, is happy to wrap up the monarch up into its web. Change requires you to imagine an alternate way, a path different from the one you're on now. What if you moved there, changed that job, and put behind you that connection that isn't making you happy? Don't get stuck thinking you have to keep doing something because that's how you always have done it. The praying mantis, if change begins to feel overwhelming and stressful, know that mindfulness will aid you as you go. Change is difficult even to those who embrace it. This is the truth, you guys. Even to those who are even more adapted and have done maybe even more work on acceptance and going with the flow and all that. It's still hard, you guys, especially when it's something it's deep-seated like patterns or deep-seated things that we've taught ourselves not to deal with, or we've taught ourselves not to see, or we've taught ourselves not to do, and with, of course, external circumstances being parts of that, but we have the power and control now, and that has been a message too throughout these readings. Taking responsibility for where we are now. Doesn't matter where we've been. What are we doing with it now? What are we doing with it in the moment? Are we wasting it away? Are we hiding from it? Are we growing from it? Are we just shrinking back into our shells? It isn't meant to be easy, but it is almost always worth it in the end. Use mindfulness as a valuable part of your toolbox. This did come in with the tools and utilizing all your all the things that I feel like will help a lot. We delight in the beauty of the butterfly, but rarely admit the changes it has gone through to achieve that beauty. Maya Angelou. So that is true. It's easy to see somebody who's already done some work, maybe their life looks great. It also said don't compare yourself to others because you don't know the process that it took to get there. But you do if you're in that process. And it's like, it's a step-by-step process. You don't get here. You don't even get work. And I got a lot more work to do, you guys, but this is years, 20, at least 20 years. And it's been hard, heavy work for the last 6 years, 5 years. But it really kicked in like about 11 years ago, and it kicked in the first time like 20 years ago. And it's just been levels and levels and levels of work. And it's better now, it does get better, you guys. So I do want to offer you that little bit of encouragement that through all the nitty gritty, facing our fears, doing our shadow work, ripping ourselves down, to tearing ourselves down, to building ourselves back up, it pays off and it feels better in the long run, you guys. It's just a really hard process to go through. And we're never... but it does get better, and yeah, there'll be another thing that causes adversity, but we'll know better how to handle it because we've already done it like hundreds of times because we've been practicing this. We're working with our energy and we're practicing and we're observing, most importantly, self-reflecting on how we've handled that same situation 20 years ago and how I handled it 10 years ago and how I handled it yesterday. Yeah, like it, and it's gotten better. I've got, the situations may not be getting better or it may look exactly the same. But the way I'm responding, because I'm not reacting, you guys, I'm responding. And there's a big difference. And that's where all this work pays off, in response. When we dive in and we do the work, we get to respond. We don't react. We don't get caught off guard. We're doing the work already. We're already aware of what is being worked on step by step. And it doesn't matter if it's fast enough for somebody else or not. It's working little by little for you to grow, to change. So this is a really important message, you guys. So let's go ahead and go to cunning here, which is in the soft spot or the weak spot. And I'm going to read that, the Fennec Fox. These are really nice readings. The better to hear you with. Most tend to think of being cunning as negative. However, if we want to move beyond our limitations, they often won't move out of our way on their own. You will need to learn to cleverly route around them. Nothing gets past the Fennec Fox, and it has a pair of large ears to thank for it. While these large ears are certainly cute, they are also survival tools that allow this animal to hear things scurrying, even under the ground. Like the Fennec Fox, something lurks around you, neither decidedly good nor bad. This animal guide could be the signal to you that you have been walking through life without using your ears, listening, paying attention to those in-betweens, reading between the lines. All that, it's been a message. Be cunning. Use your senses to get to the bottom of what you're missing. You could really be not seeing something. Hide and seek. You may need to ask yourself if you are being cunning, lurking through the shadows. Why and what are you hiding? What could you be consciously or unconsciously keeping secret? The Fennec Fox is a nocturnal creature that will avoid the harsh heat of the sun by roaming around at night. Why are you avoiding the heat? What are you keeping from the light of day? Sometimes we can look into the darkness so long that our eyes begin to adjust. What once looked dim and dark begins to make sense. When the light comes on, you don't want to be startled at what has transpired around you. Be perceptive and make sure that you aren't, most of all, deceiving yourself. Being honest with yourself, doing that work, going deep, deep down. Sly as a fox. The Fennec Fox is unique among foxes as it is a social creature, often living in packs. This is a cute little fox, you guys. I just love it. I love foxes. I do. They're cute. And I do find them very clever and resourceful, too. You need to be more resourceful and clever and go and do this kind of really look at any shadows around this hidden part of yourself, or this part of yourself that maybe is vulnerable and you don't want to, deal with why it's vulnerable like that, or sensitive or something like that. You guys, there's a lot. It says take some time to think about who you decide to connect your burrow with. Now is an excellent time to make strategic connections, but also to check for openings to your vulnerable den. Be sure you know what moves underneath the surface, as this card is an indicator that you may be overlooking something or someone. We aren't always able to be direct and overt. This guide encourages you to be cunning and trust your instincts. You may need to be just as sly as your prey to catch it. And this could very well be saying too, and it is in the soft spot, is that you aren't seeing something. I am getting that, like, this could be something that looks like somebody else, but it's really within you. Or vice versa. You're feeling like there just feels to be like some resistance to coming out and just kind of facing whatever this is, talking about whatever this is. It could be a multitude of things, but it just feels like, trust yourself. You could be not trusting yourself also to be able to do this work, or be able to do this cleansing, or say or speak, or maybe it's just feeling like, man, I can't, but you can. The ecosystem for this card is the locust and the scarab. This prey urges caution, whether you are using your own cunning or you are navigating that of others. Be sure not to get lost in the shadows of your dead. Don't get sucked into the mess. Don't get sucked into the shadows. Go in there, deal with it, cry, let it go through you, whatever, express it, get it out, and then you're purified, and you can move on with your life. And don't let it suck you into the cycle or into the sick dynamic that the shadow can have in our lives through other people, through unhealthy relationships, through unhealthy crutches, addiction, stuff like that. Oh, I did all this horrible stuff. It makes me a horrible person, and that person knows it. Says I'm horrible. That person says I'm horrible. I feel horrible. So I'm horrible. So I don't deserve better. So I'm going to stay here in the toilet, doing nothing good to change and shift my existence and my reality. So really taking control right now, you guys. It does say kind of go with the flow, said not, but take control of yourself. Whatever's going on around you, you can't control that right now. I can guarantee you that. We can only do the work. We can only look at the mess or look at the situation and see what our part is in it, take responsibility for that, and make sure we are looking at what all the steps that it's taken to get here, and what is the next step by step, day by day. The scarab, the fennec fox cunning instinct is necessary, as it allows them to thrive in their desert habitat, where provisions are slim and prey, like the scarab, is often burrowed out of sight. Remember that being cunning takes some creativity. This was also in Sagittarius. If this is resonating, watch Sagittarius, because it may resonate too. Your ability to think outside your regular patterns of thought will give you an advantage. Fool me once, strike one. Fool me twice, strike three. And this is just, really paying attention, you guys, and just going with your gut on what you need to do next. Whether this is, deep down what you need to do next, or in the situation you're in. There is definitely, and there was messages coming through in the 9th house. So, being intuitively guided, or even, stepping outside the comfort zone here today. Let's look at the animal. Well, let's give these a little shuffle. I'm going to get one more animal card. I'm going to get an Oracle of Light. White Light Oracle. I always call Oracle of Light, and it's not. All right. Capricorn. Well, there we go. And it is the snake. I love this. This is transformation. This is really nice energy, you guys. There's a big transformation going on here. Big cleansing, big purifying. It's the snake eating its own tail. It cycles. It has so much. I do love that. Guardian of unawakened magic and creative potential. The snake is a symbol of our highest potential. It is said that Shakti, our creative life force, lies dormant at the base of our spine in the form of a coiled snake. Yeah, this is big, you guys. Regardless of whether this image rings true for you, it's beautiful. It is worth considering the amount of unawakened or untapped potential within. What would life look like if you woke it up? How can you stir it from its slumber? An experienced yoga or meditation teacher can lead the way. Make haste. The snake card appears when there is no more time to waste. I have been getting that feeling of urgency through this message, through this reading. So it does feel quite like now, like get it done now. Like that's what it's feeling like yesterday. But step by step, it's also saying, it doesn't happen overnight, but it is saying get on it, because this is a long process. This is a continued thing, and you have to stay on it. Whatever this is, don't stop. Don't get comfortable in the middle of doing the work. Really kind of stay in that uncomfortable energy, because that's what's changing and shifting you, and that's what's going to force you to make the big moves, the big steps, that take you into the next chapter, you guys. When in balance, prosperous, creative, and charismatic. And when out of balance, it starts and stops many things. Going in and out, in and out. Doing something, stop doing something. Doing the work, stop doing the work. Focusing on the inner, then focus on everything else outside of, that kind of imbalance. To bring into balance, Kundalini yoga and meditation, taking that time for yourself, you guys. So let's go ahead and get a white light oracle. I'm just going to read the short version of this card, and this is going to tie up your guys' reading. Like I said, these have been a little longer, you guys, and if you've stuck with the whole reading, thank you, and I hope it has helped. There has been a tremendous amount of messages in this round of readings. It's these cards to bring in, and at first I didn't know if I was going to read all of them, but I'm like, yeah, these are general. We're going to do that. We are going to read them because you just never know what you're going to get from the book. Let's see here, and they're very earthy. So it's a lot of earth matters. It's a lot of stuff we're dealing with in our material world, in our experience, especially our personality experience. So it's really asking us to remember our soul experience here, not just what our personality is experiencing, because there's a whole nother experience happening for us. But our personality may say it's not happening for us, it's happening against us. Well, against what? Oh, this is so, you guys, I can't even make this up. This was in Sagittarius. Also, telling you, if this one resonates with you, probably a good idea to take some time and watch Sagittarius, although it's very much like this one. So it'd be another hour of your time, but it might be worth it. There might be a message in there for you. So let's read this. This is beautiful. The Pearl of Charo. I love that. This is that magician energy, you guys. This is really creating something. That pearl energy was in the last round of readings, and it's just taking responsibility for your experiences empowers you. You are going to resolve an issue through spiritual inspiration and higher guidance. You will rise up in full connection to your spirit and access a wealth of divine treasure. That which has brought darkness into your world shall submit to the light and be transformed. All those things are being transformed. You're growing from them. Good stuff's coming from them. But you still got to keep doing that work. Have courage and commitment to your awakening, for you are a precious being and can go far on the spiritual path this lifetime. This is definitely purifying here. And this is definitely, it feels like whoever this is resonating for, it's either another cycle of cleansing and purifying, or you're just beginning this journey. And if you are new to this journey, it is a journey, but you've already been on it. This is just the good stuff. This is the stuff where we get to go, oh, that's what all this is about. That's where we get to wake up to how much power we do have in our experiences, in our perceptions. And it is a beautiful thing, you guys. So keep up the hard work if this is your reading, you guys. I appreciate you guys. I hope you guys have a good day, and I will talk to you later.